talk about Tesla, I guess. Right? When we talk about a company that has performed volatile since 2018, it fits the characteristics. We saw it run up after the election. We saw that they reported last week that they actually sold less cars last quarter. Last year, for first time. So, as you're looking at it, how do we even try to make sense of this?
You can't. It's a call option on Elon Musk.
Yes,
it might as well. You might as well call it Musk coin, because the shareholder base is not here for the car sales figures. They really don't give a shit, honestly. Nobody that owns the stock thinks this is a car company. What they think it is this like innovation incubator that's going to continue to produce world-changing technology and monetize it. And that bet has been right. So I never made that bet, but that bet has been right. I have a regular guest on my YouTube channel, The Compound, Nick Colas. Nick
is amazing.
Nick is
amazing.
Nick
was an auto analyst at the early stages of his career, and he knows more about this stuff than I could even dream of. And Nick's comment is, there's probably only 2 car companies in the world that are going to have any value in the future, and it's Toyota and Tesla. You look at Ford and GM, and those stocks trade based on how many cars they sold last month. And the feature that all publicly traded car companies around the world have in common, whether we're talking about the Germans or the Japanese or United States or the Europeans, all of their or anywhere really, all of the multiples on these stocks are single digit. That's investors saying we don't expect any growth to come out of these companies ever again. Tesla is the only one that has a tech stock multiple. And the reason why is the cars are just a vehicle, pun intended, to introduce all these other technologies along the way that are going to be so much more valuable. So full self-driving is an example. The humanoid robots that you're starting to see. I think Kim Kardashian is dating one. That's an example.
Allegedly.
The solar charging, all this stuff. Like, if you own Tesla, the last thing you give a shit about is how many Model S's they sold last month. And that's so evident in the way it trades. So I call it Musk coin. And that's what I really think Tesla is about. It's the cult of Elon. And they believe in him now more than ever. He just elected a president. Like, what are you going to say? Even if you dislike him, and a lot of people do, what are you going to say? He's an idiot? Like, he doesn't know what he's doing? He knows exactly what he's doing, which, if you think about it, is even scarier than the idea that he's bumbled his way into all this.
And before Starlink IPOs, which is even scarier.
SpaceX, Starlink, the chip that goes in your brain. Can't wait for one of those. The tunnels. That's why people want to bet on Elon. It's hard to get access to SpaceX stock. You could buy Tesla right now.
It's 2025. I know it's a lot of people who want to break into the industry. If someone wants to break into the hedge fund or wealth management space, what advice would you give them? And can you give us like 1 or 2 tips for how you've grown your business over the last 4 or 5 years?
So I don't know anything about how to break into hedge funds, but I'll speak to wealth management. I think the most important skills that you can possess entering the wealth management business, even if you don't fully possess them, what you need to be focused on is you've got to learn to do financial planning. This is not a business where you go into if you want to be a stock picker or if you want to analyze companies. That's not wealth management. You've got to know how to help people take their financial assets and turn them into a plan for living out the rest of their life in ease and comfort. There's a lot of empathy involved. There's a lot of math. There's a lot of software. There's a lot of conversations. You've got to get people to tell you the truth. You've got to elicit truth from these conversations. And then you've got to be there for people in some really tough moments. Some of those will be stock market related, like 2022. Some of those have nothing to do with investing. You have to take calls from people who are going through trauma that's got to have an impact on their financial situation. My company went under. My father died. My wife is leaving me. My husband is sick. We lost a child. And then the good times. I got a promotion. I'm selling a business. I just inherited money. Whatever it is, you've got to be there for those people in all of those moments and be able to incorporate the things that are happening to them into the financial planning work and the calculations that you're doing. And that is what wealth management is about. I think the skills that you need to possess, being on track to become a certified financial planner would probably be number one. Having an accounting background, probably number two. We've built a tax practice internally. Last year, we filed taxes for 536 families all over the country. These are wealth management clients who have come to us and said, yes, we also want you to help us do our taxes. And if you think about it, a wealth management firm knows more about the tax situation of their clients than anyone else.
Yeah.
So it's a really natural symbiosis. So like those are the things that if you want to work on things like that, wealth management is for you. If you're like looking to be somebody that's trading NVIDIA, that's not a wealth management job. Although you might end up investing in things like NVIDIA, you're probably looking for more like sell side, buy side, something more trading oriented or more analysis oriented. So I think I guess to answer your question, Ian, you really have to understand what you want and then work backwards and ask yourself, the people who are in the seat I want to be in, what do they do? What have they learned? What licenses have they obtained? What did they study?
Josh, appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, man.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
How can the people follow your show and all of the information?
No doubt. You guys are the best. We're the Compound Channel on YouTube. We do about, I think, 4 podcasts a week, most of which also end up on YouTube, but you can download and listen. And we all write. So I've got 11 people here putting out market insights on a daily basis. We have something coming out. So if you go to ritholtzwealth.com, you could learn about the firm. We manage money for people putting in their first $500 and for billionaires and everyone in between. We've got different service tiers for all different types of investors. So if you want our help, don't be shy. Come say hello and tell us what's going on, and we'll have solutions for you.
Wealth of knowledge, my brother. Appreciate you as always.
Be good, boys. Wishing you all the best in 25. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I love you dearly.
Thank you.